Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. This is video 9 of the dietary assessment training. In this video, we are going to look at the dietary intake assessment kit. Sometimes we just use it short, the dietary kit. So let's start. Okay, for this session, you will not see my face, but here is the dietary kit that you will receive. See, it's in a blue picnic basket. So you just open it up. You'll see there is an order in which I take the items out. So you have 2 takeaway containers, and this what you can use to quantify chips or any takeaway food that has been bought by the participant. And this is just a size smaller. So you can quantify according to these 2 containers. And then you also have your picture file. In your picture file, you have your ruler, as well as extra labels. So if some of your labels fall off from your equipment, your plates or your cups, you can replace it. There is some spares available. So your ruler, you can use your ruler to determine the diameter or the length of sausage or a corn on the cob, as well as the length of those items, and then also maybe the diameter of the sausage. Was it a thin or thick sausage? Or you can determine the dimensions of a piece of cake, where you have the length, the width, and the breadth of that piece of cake, and you can measure that with the ruler. Anything else that you can also measure with the ruler. So you do have a tablecloth inside your dietary kit. So please take it out. I'm not going to take this one out now, but take it out. And this is actually the first thing that you will take out and put over the table or the surface that you are going to use for doing the interview and packing out your dietary kit. It is preferable that you take out your dietary kit and make everything available for yourself as well as the participant, so that they can also assist with the quantification. Right, so you also have 2 cloths. So this is to keep your dietary kit clean. You can wash and then dry your plastic tools. So please make use of this, and please make sure that your dietary kit is clean when you are visiting a household. Okay, then you also have a set of measuring cups and a set of measuring spoons that can be used to quantify different food items. I will show you how you can use this with the container of oats that you have, as well as the container of beans that you have. Okay, so that's also included. So you have a measuring shaker. So the shaker, you use this with your, for instance, with your oats and your beans to determine the quantity that someone has or your participant has consumed. Then you also have a set of spoons. So you have a serving spoon, you have a tablespoon, you have a dessert spoon, and you have a teaspoon. You will see they are marked on the back. So these you can also use to determine how much of a food someone has eaten. So a ladle spoon, a heaped ladle, a heaped serving spoon, or a level serving spoon. Remember to use the abbreviations that has been described in the manual. So this can be mostly used for your adults, and then you'll probably use your teaspoon when you are quantifying a child or a toddler's food. So please make use of this to quantify your food items, dishes, salads, and so on. It can be quantified with that. Even if you use meat, mince, porridge, rice, you can quantify with your spoons. Then you have a see-through glass that also has been labeled. So this can be used to quantify water, cool drink, any drinks that has been consumed. You also have a cup that you can use. This one is a 300 ml cup, and they've also been labeled. You also have another type of cup that's a bit smaller, a 250 ml cup, also that has been labeled. And then you have a cup that you can use for, infant feeding or toddler feeding. So it's a bit smaller than the other cups. Then you have a sponge model number 5. This can be used to quantify meat, meat pieces. So you can use this and ask the participant, to identify how big a piece of meat was. So you also have a number 1 sponge model that you can use for quantifying, for example, cheese, or even smaller pieces of baked goods you can use to quantify that with. Then you have a set of plates and bowls. So you have the smaller bowl. They are also labeled, and this can be used for quantifying toddlers, children's, or infant meals. And this is also a bowl. These are just different types of bowls that might be used by your participant. They are also labeled, and you can use them then to quantify the amount of porridge, soup, or any other type of food that they consumed in these bowls can be quantified. Then you also have a side plate and a serving plate. And these you can also use to identify, was half of your plate full? Was it a quarter of the plate that was full? So that can be used for those types of measurements. Okay, good. So one thing that can happen in a household is that they can tell you, well, I don't have a cup like this. My cup is actually a little bit bigger. It looks like this one. So what you can do is you can use your oats to quantify how much is in that specific cup. You open up your oats, and you can ask your participant, you can loosen up your measuring cups over here, and you can ask your participant to fill up the cup to where they usually consume their, up to where do they fill their cup usually. Okay, so for instance, they stop there, how much tea, coffee they usually drink, or milk, and then you take your measuring shaker and you add that to your cup, and it is 300 ml. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see, but it is on the 300 milliliter mark. So the cup, or the amount of coffee or tea, milk they've consumed, you then record that as 300 milliliters. Okay. So the oats, you can use that as well, even though your bowl has been marked. if they do consume less than under the mark, or yeah, less than what is marked, you can make use of your either your measuring cups, ask them to, you know, okay, was it that much? Then this is a 1/8 of a cup. So they can determine it by using the cups, or if it was a little bit more, then you can just quantify, you know, it was 2/8. So it's 1/4 of a cup. And that would be 62 milliliters according to your measuring cup. So that is how you can use your oats or your beans as well to quantify the amount of food that has been eaten. That is also, you know, you see you are going to use the oats. That's also important reason for using your tablecloth. Then, you know, that you don't mess in your participant's house, so that you can just keep it clean, and then you can just fold it in such a way that you keep, if you did mess any oats, that you just keep that inside your tablecloth. And if you get to the car, maybe you can just, you know, shake it out and make sure that everything is clean before you go on to the next house. So you saw the cup. This is a strange cup, or it's a longer cup. So you also get a fatter cup, or you get another type of cup. So if you are not sure, again, make use of the oats to see what the sizes are. If you are in the household and they do not recognize any of the bowls that you know, that's part of your kit, you can really ask them to show you what do they use, and then you use your kit as I've identified, or you use your oats for the porridge, for instance. You can use that. If it's a looser porridge, for example, if you use all bran flakes, you can use your beans, or even, you know, if it's a looser and more bulky type of food, then you will be using the beans. Right, so I'm quickly going to show you, there's an order in which I pack the kit back. It's just to keep it neat and to make sure you don't squash any of the items. So I usually put the oats and the beans in first. So you'll see they are on that side. I will also show you or add pictures of the different stages that I pack it in. So then it's the plates and the bowls that I put in. Then I'll take the spoons, and I'll put that in the middle, in between the plates and the beans and the oats. I then take one of the glasses. You'll see I've put them inside each other. I'll just put them in there. I will, like I say, I'll take a picture and I'll show you exactly where the places are. Then you can take, just make sure all your cups are together. So I think it's good for the team to get a rhythm and work together, you know, who's packing in what, and making sure that everything gets is put on their place and is put in as well. So what I do then, I take the shaker, I put that also in the middle between the plates and the oats. Next, behind it, I would put the measuring cups and then the measuring spoons. Your sponge models, you can put that inside the bowls. Then you can again put your ruler in your picture file. Sorry, you can put your cloths in first, then your picture file, and then you are going to fold up your tablecloth. Put that in just before you put in your takeaway holders as they can squash easily. So you put them on top. And then you just make sure you have everything in. Both of the team members check and make sure you've got everything in your kit. And then you can close it up. And there you go. And then you can leave the household and be on your merry way to the next household. So thank you for watching, and good luck with the data collection. Bye-bye.